All right, Charlie Vinch, you are the owner of Budo Martial Arts Studio. Charlie, where are you in the country?
We are located in Ewing, New Jersey.
Uh-huh. And how's the martial arts market there? Do you have much competition?
We do, but we do offer an amazing service and an amazing product. So I don't believe that our competition is really our quote unquote competition.
Yeah, they're not so amazing, I guess.
Exactly.
All right, cool. So now you transitioned to starting your own studio because, you're a martial arts instructor and you had the audacity to start your own studio. What led to that?
What led to it was me wanting to create the lifestyle of a martial arts instructor / entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. And I know this was something that I always wanted to do in my life, and I didn't know what exactly was, going to be. But upon starting martial arts at the age of 14, I could totally see myself doing that.
Yeah. So you finally pulled the trigger. So tell me about the process then for going, when you're working as an instructor for somebody else and then kind of starting your own your own studio. What was the hardest part?
The hardest part is making that dive into going, okay, I'm working for somebody else right now. And then, next year or next week, I'm going to take responsibility for paying myself and my business is going to have to support me. So that was the hardest transition, knowing that going from working from somebody else to working for myself.
Yeah. So how did you get your first clients?
So one of the things that I did when I was teaching martial arts at another studio and personally was I was building my base through that. So people getting to know me, what I do. And then from there, it was an easy transition into my space.
Yeah, but like, how did you find people? Like, what did you do? Were you networking? Were you going into schools? Like, how did people discover you? Like clients, customers?
It was solely on word of mouth and social media. So I would post all the time about me training these individuals one-on-one, and then other people would message me or other people would come into the gym and say, hey, I saw you training, this other person. Can you train me? Can you train my kid? Can you train my family? And then before you know it, I had so many people that wanted to train with me one-on-one that I said, this is a good time for me to open up my own place.
Yeah, you've done pretty well. Like your Facebook's doing pretty well, and you've got a lot of reviews. I would imagine that's like you're pretty conscious of that, of getting reviews. 55 recommendations on a page. I mean, you're relatively new. I mean, and you opened 4 years ago, so 65 recommendations with these written reviews. That's pretty good. And so do you ask for that, or is that what's going on there?
Yeah. So all of the reviews are organic in this sense of, after classes or, when I train someone, I'll say, hey, did you have a good time? And if you did have a good time, please leave us a review on Google. I would greatly appreciate it. And everybody is more than willing to do that. And sometimes I do seminars for people and they're like, hey, how can I write a review or how can I thank you?
Yeah.
So, you can write me a review on Google. I'd appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, I mean, that's good for business. People are looking for it. So how when you have a new customer, the first coming in because word of mouth, but what do you do? Is there some other things that you do to facilitate word of mouth?
We do Referral Contest. We also do B2B, which is
Well, tell me more about Referral Contests.
Sure. So one of the things that we do for Referral Contest is there's nothing better than having somebody who's currently enjoying your services to then recommend somebody else. That's even better than Facebook marketing. Yeah. Everybody's big on this Facebook marketing. I want to market my Facebook and that's how I'm going to get more people. Nothing is more strong than somebody saying to another person, hey, I go to this place. I love it. I think you would like it too. And the money or the prize, kind of just incentivizes that, even when we don't have our referral contest, people still refer people all the time. But one of the things that we do is on a monthly basis, say this month, if you refer somebody to our studio and they sign up, you'll get 10 tickets towards our raffle. And our raffle is a $100 Amazon gift card. If you bring somebody in for a tour, you get 1 ticket. If you bring somebody in and they sign up for a trial, you get 3 tickets.
Well, you think about it from like how much advertising $100 can buy you. It's not a lot, you know, but you think of that $100 Amazon gift card, how much goodwill that's created. Plus, listen, you know, you're not giving the $100 to some social media or media fat cat. You know, you're giving it to your own clients, so it's creating excitement. And well, listen, you know, one thing that I've learned is, and I talk about Mark Schaefer's work all the time, Marketing Rebellion, but consumer behavior has changed considerably over the past 5-10 years. And you're absolutely right. Advertising is, we don't trust advertising, but we do appreciate the advice of our friends and family. Like, we do want to know what other people think. And so I think that's super, super smart to allocate marketing resources into an audience that's already satisfied with your service. So that's really, really great. So all they have to do is, so how often do you run a raffle?
We do a referral contest every single month.
Wow. Nice. And is it always the same, or do you change it up?
We change it up. Some months it's a personal session with me. Some months it's a gift card to a local restaurant. So we're, supporting a local place. Sometimes it's Amazon. Sometimes it's Target gift card. Sometimes it's cold hard cash.
And which one seems to be the most successful, by the way?
The Amazon gift card. Folks like Amazon.
Yeah. Well, look, you've got 86 votes on Facebook. You've got 67 Google reviews. Both are a perfect 5-star. I would imagine if you got a 1-star review, you'd probably go knock on that person's door. What?
For sure.
Yeah. Any other things that you do to make sure that you have a really good reputation? Because again, the person who's listening to us, I want you to take some notes from what Charlie's doing, because this really, really matters today. No matter what kind of business you are, you need to be very, very mindful of your reviews. Your reviews matter more than increasing your paid ad spend by another, $100,000, $100 or $1,000 monthly. People look for and they read the reviews, and what they want to find is there someone who left a review that's like me? And if it worked for them and their kids had a positive experience, my kids will probably have a positive experience. I mean, they'll go so far, Charlie, is to look at photos and try to find a photo that looks like them. And it's just a weird thing, but it really, really matters. So where do you go from here? Like, how are you going to continue to, obviously you take, your customer reputation very, very seriously. What other things do you have planned? Because you have a very successful martial arts studio. You got a lot of customers, and you've had I'll be honest, kind of a meteoric rise compared to a lot of other martial arts studios. And by the way, CrossFit studios can take note of this. Other local gyms can take, anyone who's offering like dance classes, like all this stuff, man, especially if you're marketing to, and I would imagine most people bringing kids in, their moms, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Dads, parents. Yeah.
Yep. So, but any other things that you have planned that you're going to do to continue to grow your business? I have another question, but go ahead and answer that.
So our next step is to reach a student base of 250. That's my next goal. Mm-hmm. It's just to keep packing the place that we have currently right now. Yeah. And it's not to expand to another place as of any time soon. or, that I believe, if we hit 250 really fast, then, maybe, but our goal is to build to 250 where we're at.
And speaking of which, you had mentioned, expanding into another place. You and I had talked previously about what you do operationally to keep things running smooth. And go ahead and explain how you run your business. Because again, I think that there's some lessons here that anybody who's working directly with consumers can really take note of this.
We document everything in a manual or in a procedures manual or a piece of paper or whatever it is. And every person who has a duty at Budo Martial Arts knows exactly what to do hourly, daily, monthly, yearly, quarterly, whatever it is, without questioning, wait, should I be doing this? Should I not be doing this? They know exactly what they have to do. And if we have to go back and tweak it a little bit, we do, but that is our base of what people are doing, so they're not walking around guessing on what they should be doing, right?
How about stuff like shutting down for the night and cleaning up? That documented?
Yep.
How about when a kid gets hurt? Is that documented?
Yep.
So, and here's the thing, like if we go back to Michael Gerber E-Myth, and I know you've been a part of some really powerful business owner networks, and you and I actually met through, was it Business Mastery?
Yes.
Tony Robbins? Yeah.
Yes.
So you learn a lot when you network with other successful business owners. And you had mentioned that, just documenting everything and putting it in a single manual is a way to do it. Now, listen, if you're a business owner like me and you're a virtual business owner and your employees are all virtual, your clients are virtual, then build a wiki, build a Wikipedia type repository of all your documents. I mean, even worst case scenario, you just start a Google Docs folder and just put all your documents there. You could do that. And Charlie, I would imagine being a physical location, you probably print this stuff out and put it in a manual of some sort, but you make sure that everybody has access to this information. Do you also expand that into like training, or how do you implement that as into like part of your onboarding when you onboard a new employee?
So yes, everything is documented for each position. And then what we do to answer that question is we do what's called quarterly reviews, where when I onboard let's say an instructor, they have to go through our instructor's training course, which is close to 16 weeks. They have a physical and then they have a written part. They have to pass both parts. Once they pass both parts, they know what they have to do per class to keep, XYZ up. And then quarterly, I'll go in and I'll say, okay, this is our quarterly review. I will now review you on the things that are listed on this paper that they know about. And then if they have the average of 80 or plus, they pass. If it's not 80 or plus, I show them what they should be doing. If they can't meet that, then we need to move on.
What would you say to another business owner who would push back on this and say, Charlie, I don't have time to document all this stuff. I'm too busy.
If you don't have time to document something, that really gives the person that's working for you a sense of not knowing what they're doing. So when they do something wrong, as a business owner, before documenting things, I used to say, oh, well, you didn't do this right, you didn't do that right. And you can't hold people accountable if they don't know exactly what they should be doing. You can hold people accountable if they know exactly what they should be doing.
Yeah. And so, I mean, if you've got confusion operationally, I mean, you're wasting money, you're wasting time, you're going to have higher turnover, you're going to have lower employee satisfaction. In terms of leadership, this stuff all matters. And I guess, to the business owner that is, they're already at the level where, it would be for them personally to do this, it would be kind of a hardship. You're going to have to hire a really, really great operations manager. And that's their job, is to make sure that everything is running smoothly. That's honestly, that's one of the first positions that I filled, because the number one job of a business owner is to grow their business. So you have to be doing, Charlie, things like, coming up with incentives and working with your client base and growing organically like that. And what's really great is that, you've got everything documented now. So now that it's documented, it just doesn't take as much of your personal time. And so that can really, that can really be a huge time saver. And then you can head, I'm just looking at you on, you can head next door. I thought I saw Five Guys right down the road from you guys, or maybe, or Wawa. Yeah, you could go take a break and let your operations manual do the supervising for you. So, well, great. Well, Charlie Vinch, people listening to this conversation, you go to Budo Martial Arts Studio, and Budo is Budo, Martial Arts Studio. You got a great website. It's really interesting. Some studio owners thrive. Some studio owners are just banging their head against the wall. They can't figure it out. Go and look and see. Go to Charlie's website. You can see exactly what he's doing. He's doing it right. Go back and re-listen to this interview for clues on what Charlie's learned. Charlie, another thing too is clearly you've invested into your personal development, your personal growth. I mean, if you're going to Business Mastery, that's an investment. It's not cheap to go to Business Mastery.
That's correct. And I'm looking at this as my business as a long game.
Yep.
Not a short game. This is a marathon for me. This is not a sprint. I'm here to stay and I'm here to dominate. So I don't mind making that investment because I know it's going to pay me tenfold in the long run.
Nice. Charlie Vinch, you're the founder, and we'll call you as the CEO of Budo Martial Arts Studio in New Jersey. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.